Hello everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Beyond the Reels. Today we are going to talk about a movie that is doing really well in the theaters, and it is doing well because of word of mouth publicity by the audience who have accepted the movie with all their heart. I don't know how many of you have watched Article 370, Aditya Suhas Jambhale's new social thriller. But if you are in the hall, you will notice that the audience is giving out a very positive reaction in many parts of the film. They are hooting, they are cheering, they are clapping. It only means that they are aware of what Article 370 was and how important its abrogation was. But why more and more people need to watch this film is because this movie is a visual documentation of the incidents that happened before and after the abrogation of the Draconian Act, and why the Modi Sarkar took such a decision in 2019. The movie, though it is a mainstream movie, it is a smaller film. It wasn't promoted as much as the big banner movies in Bollywood are promoted. But when the trailer of the movie released, it got a lot of positive response. But the kind of unprecedented success the movie got in the first 2 days was something nobody even thought about. Despite the fact that the movie doesn't have the usual songs and there are no such interludes, but Aditya Dhar and his entire team concentrated on the script, on the cast, on the technical aspect, on the script writing, so that the entire events were so beautifully placed that it made an emphatic and fact-based deconstruction of why the abrogation of the act was a landmark decision by the Modi Sarkar in 2019. Now, what happened throughout the film was they balanced the fictional part and the facts so well that it became a thoroughly engaging drama where you will find emotions and the truth coming together so beautifully that the audience was bound to enjoy it. Anybody who had doubts about what this act was and why people were calling it calling the Modi Sarkar a fascist government for doing what they did in Kashmir actually will understand that the act itself was a threat to national security, and abrogating it actually brought Kashmir, it kind of integrated Kashmir back again to India, which the previous politicians and the agenda bazis really wanted to stop. But what could possibly be the USP of Aditya Suhas Jambhale's film? It wasn't, this is a topic that has been much discussed in the political circuits, amongst the youth, amongst people who are trying to be abreast with the political situation in Kashmir and with contemporary politics. It was a subject itself. Article 370 and the nitty-gritty of it is such an important subject for us to know, because not everybody of us were aware of what was happening in Kashmir. Kashmir mein jo ho raha tha, the terrorism backed by Pakistani ISI, the political ramifications of people who had agendas in keeping the poor poor, and religious extremism. Everything was so hazy, and that the narrative needed to be set right. And this was what the Modi Sarkar did. They took a really bold decision. They didn't let the media create too much noise. There were in 2019 there were rampant reports of how the internet was shut down, and a lot of politicians out there were kept under house arrest. Now, why was it done, and why was the internet shut down? Why was it a technical breakthrough that the government back then achieved? To make such a change in Kashmir is something that the movie deconstructs very well. It's the script is laid out so beautifully that one event after another, you'll understand that how difficult was it to take this decision, because there were so many little nitty-gritties that the government had to take into account, so that there is no bloodshed, so that the people there understand that this was for their good. They would obviously not like it, because they have been conditioned to think that the government is acting against their favor. But slowly through the film, you would understand that even the much aware people in Kashmir, and people who understood how they were being played by the Abdullahs and the Muftis, they realized that this government was out to do something good for them. And it was only obvious that they would accept this decision with open arms, because any sane person would want development, would want balance, would want law and justice to prevail. Nobody would want their children to be pattharbazis. Nobody would, just for a few, pennies, and just for a few Pakistani, paisa, they would want their children to have a life, to have a future, and they would want a peaceful Kashmir that the abrogation of this act actually achieved. Why this movie is also important is because it's a visual documentation of a landmark historic decision that will have positive repercussions in the valley in later years, and that is what we are seeing in Kashmir right now. A lot of development has taken place, there is peace prevailing in the valley, and the people are happier, they are embracing the changes that are coming over. Tourism has grown, there's a lot of revenue being generated. When anybody used to ask me about the Kashmir conundrum, I always used to refer them to a book called Kashir by Shahana Vijay Kumar. That book was again a very balanced and well documented collection of facts in history about the blunders by the Nehru government and the events that took place thereafter that kept Kashmir outside the radar of a lot of Indians. And it kind of brought a lot of religious extremism in Kashmir, and how the Kashmiri Pandits faced the brunt of it, how even the Musalmans faced problems because of this kind of religious extremism that was financed and backed by Pakistan. But now, with this movie releasing and its massive success, this is another reference point for people, for youngsters, and for people who have a yen for good cinema to understand what was happening in Kashmir. The character of Yami Gautam, called Zuni Haksar, she explains it very well. Ki कश्मीर में प्रॉब्लम क्या था और उस प्रॉब्लम से बाहर कैसे निकल सकते हैं, हाउ द लाइव्स ऑफ द पीपल देयर वर crippled by the draconian article 370, and how only abrogating it would be a solution, because then Kashmir would become Kashmir, which was always a part of India, would actually on paper become one with it and would function like any other part of India does. A film that plays on the political happenings, that incorporates a lot of political happenings. It's very important to keep a balance and to not make it excessively melodramatic, because politics is such a sensitive topic. The way PM Modi has been depicted and the way Home Minister Amit Shah has been depicted is extremely, it's very well cast. In fact, you will have all the characters that we will all identify. There are the Abdullahs, there is the Muftis. You have the terrorist Burhan Wani being named. There is you have a reference to Yasin Malik. You also see a lot of characters that you immediately identify, and I think it's a great movie for the for the separatists and the vile politicians in Kashmir to watch and reflect on what they have been doing so far in Kashmir, and they should introspect about their behavior, about their greed, about their selfishness that kept Kashmir so underdeveloped for so long. And this is a great reckoner for them to kind of introspect on their own participation in keeping Kashmir so low. The audience was extremely receptive to whatever was happening in the film, especially in the portion where Home Minister Amit Shah foots the bill in Rajya Sabha, and there was a lot of cheering and clapping. It only means that the people are aware that this was an important decision that the government took, and how they took it, the chaturai that was employed by the government, so that there one drop of innocent blood is not shed. And it was very heartening to find the audience cheering and clapping, because this only means that no more monkey balancing scripts are going to be tolerated when it comes to the matter of national security, when it comes to the matter of the safety of our motherland. We are accepting stories, and we are accepting narratives that only presents the truth in an unadulterated version, and facts that are being presented as it is. There is we know what happened, and we want to hear it like how it was. Complete points to the casting of the movie. You have Arun Govil as PM Modi. You have Kiran Karmarkar as Home Minister Amit Shah. They are absolutely well cast, but I would give 2 extra points for the female characters of the film, played by like Rajeshwari Swaminathan is played by Priyamani. She's absolutely no nonsense, and she knows what she's doing, and she doesn't make her part boring, though it's all about documents and figures and decisions. She delivers the right lines at the right moment to the media representatives. But I think the film completely is helmed by Yami Gautam, who this should be her best role to date, and she puts in enough emotions and toughness and histrionic prowess to the screen to make Zuni Haksar such a relatable character. She knows what Kashmir's problems are. She knows how she and her family personally were victims to the divisive politics that was, that was ruining Jammu and Kashmir. And the best part is that she is the prime. She plays the main role, and it's inspired by a true character. And then she is supported by Priyamani, which again brings us back to Nari Shakti, that has actually brought back a change uh, to Kashmir. So this is again the Modi Sarkar's giving importance to women, women who take the country forward, women who play such an important part in the development of the country. And I think the film beautifully portrays that. Thank you.